I wasn't even supposed to drive that night. I was tired. My head was already starting to hurt. The kind of slow headache that just sits behind your eyes all day. I had just finished a long shift, tech support, remote work, the kind where people only call you when something's already broken. By the time I closed my laptop, I told myself I was done for the day. No more works and no more screens. I was just going to eat something, maybe watch a video, and sleep early for once. But I checked my phone and I saw the app, Uber. I don't know why, but I opened it. Maybe habit, maybe the thought of making a little extra money. Things have been tight lately. Nothing crazy, but just enough to keep you thinking about it. So I told myself, one ride, just one ride, then I'm done. That's it. The request came in almost instantly. There were no profile picture and no rating, just a name. I stared at it for a second. Then I saw that it was close, 7 minutes away, so I accepted it. The streets were quiet. It was one of those nights where everything feels still, not in a bad way, just empty, like most people had already decided to stay inside. I followed the GPS, turned into a smaller road, and slowed down as I got close. He was already there, standing near the sidewalk. He wasn't on his phone. He wasn't even looking around. He was just standing there like he'd been waiting for a while. I pulled up next to him and unlocked the doors. He got in the back seat. "Hey," I said. "Hey," he answered. His voice was calm, normal. I started the ride. For a few seconds, we didn't say anything. That's pretty common. Some people don't like talking. Some people just want to go to where they are going. And honestly, I don't mind that. After a long day, silence can feel comfortable. But then he spoke. "You've been driving long tonight?" I shook my head. "Nah, not really. Just started actually." "After work?" he asked. "Yeah." "What do you do?" "Tech support," I said. "From home." He let out a small breath, like a quiet laugh. "That sounds exhausting." I smiled a little. It is. People don't call unless something's already wrong. And somehow, there's always something wrong. "Hmm, I can imagine." There was a short pause. Then he asked, "You do this full time? Uber?" "No," I said. "Just on the side. Extra money, you know." "Ah, yeah, I get that." Another pause. Then casually, "You got a family?" I shook my head. "No, no wife, no kids." "By choice?" I thought about it for a second. "I guess so." He didn't push it, just nod slightly. We drove for a bit in silence again. The road ahead was open. No cars, just the sound of the engine and the tires on the asphalt. Then he spoke again. "You ever think about getting out of all that?" "Out of what?" I asked. "Work, jobs, all of it." I let out a small laugh. "All the time." "Financial freedom," he said. "Yeah," I nodded. "That would be nice." "You think you'll get there?" I shrugged. "I don't know. I try not to think too far ahead like that." "Why not?" "Because most of the time, it doesn't go the way you plan anyway." He was quiet for a second after that. Then he said, "That's true." A few seconds passed. Then he asked, So, what do you do when you're not working? I glanced at the road, then back ahead. Nothing crazy, I said, watching stuff, listening to things. Like what? Horror stories, mostly. He leaned back slightly. Horror. Yeah, creepypastas, Mr. Creep's narrations, stuff like that. You like being scared? I smiled a little. It's not really about being scared, it's more like the feeling. What kind of feeling? I thought about it. That weird feeling when something isn't right, but you can't explain why. He didn't respond right away, so I kept talking. I like stories with rules, or the kind where things don't make sense, but they still feel real. You mean cosmic horror? He asked. Yeah, I said. That too. Well, I actually started writing some of my own stuff too. Nothing serious. What kind? Same thing. Weird situations. People stuck in something they don't understand. Sometimes I write them in the first person. It makes it feel more real and more personal. Yeah, he said quietly. It does. There was a pause. Not long. Just enough to feel like the conversation had settled. Then calmly, almost casually, he said, You always choose roads like this for the ending. I let out a small laugh. Yeah? Yeah. I glanced at the road ahead, still empty, then back at the mirror. He was just sitting there, quiet. I guess I do, I said. It was a strange thing to say, but I didn't think too much about it. People say random things when they are tired. We drove for a while after that. The conversation just faded, not in an awkward way, just quiet. The road ahead stretched out longer than I expected. There were houses earlier, but at some point, they just disappeared. The road opened up, and everything on both sides turned into an empty space. I glanced at the GPS. Still a good amount of time left. That didn't feel right. It should have been shorter by now. I adjusted my grip on the wheel and kept driving. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. A few minutes later, I passed the road sign. I didn't read it fully, just saw it out of the corner of my eye. Then I kept going, with the same speed, on the same road. A few minutes passed again, maybe 5, maybe more. And then I saw the same sight again. This time, I slowed down a little, looked at it properly. Same shape, same markings, same slight bend on the side. I frowned a little. That didn't make sense. I looked ahead. The road didn't branch. There were no turns and no loops. It was just a straight road. For a second, I thought maybe I missed something. Maybe a turn or maybe a curve. But something. I glanced at the GPS again. It was still counting down, and it was still showing the same route. I didn't say anything. I just kept driving. But from the back seat, he spoke again, calm, like nothing had changed. You always write this part the same way. I blinked. What do you mean? There was a short pause. Then, nothing. I waited a second. Thought he might say more, but he didn't. So I nodded to myself. All right, I said quietly, and I kept driving. Something about that last thing he said stayed with me. You're doing it the same way again? Kept my eyes on the road, told myself not to overthink it. People say weird stuff at all time. Still, I adjusted my hands on the wheel. They felt stiff. Not painful, just slower than usual. I tried to loosen my grip, but it didn't feel right. Like my hands weren't fully responding the way they should. I looked ahead. The road hadn't changed. Same stretch, same direction. "You're about to check your mirror again," he said. I frowned. "I just did." "You're going to do it again." I didn't mean to. I really didn't. But a second later, I looked. For a brief moment, everything felt normal. He was sitting there in the back seat. Then something shifted. Not clearly. Not enough to explain. Just wrong. I blinked and looked back at the road. My chest tightened a little. "You see it too," he said quietly. "No," I replied quickly. Too quickly. I swallowed and tried to focus. This was getting weird. "Where are you headed again?" I asked just to ground myself. He gave me the same answer as before. Same tone, same pace. And without thinking, I repeated part of it. At the exact same time he did, we both said the last word together. I stopped talking immediately. So did he. The silence after that felt heavier. I tightened my grip on the wheel, tried to slow the car down slightly. My foot pressed the brake, but the speed didn't change. Not by much. I pressed a little harder. Still nothing. I let go, told myself I was imagining things. "You don't like changing things once they're set," he said. I didn't respond this time. I looked at the mirror again, slowly. He was still there, sitting in the same position, but something about the way he was sitting didn't match the shape I expected, like his outline didn't line up properly. I held my breath for a second, then looked back at the road. "We're almost there," he added. I glanced at the GPS. The time hadn't changed, not even by a minute. I tried to slow the car again. This time, I pressed the brake harder. Nothing changed. The engine didn't react. The speed didn't drop. My foot was there. I could feel the pedal, but it didn't feel like I was the one controlling it anymore. My breathing got heavier. I forced my hands to stay steady on the wheel. "All right, that's enough," I said under my breath. I pressed again, harder. Still nothing. Cold feelings start building in my chest, slow at first, then stronger. "You've seen this part before," he said. I shook my head. "No, I haven't." But even as I said it, something felt wrong. Not wrong like fear, wrong like I couldn't fully believe what I was saying. I focused on the road, tried to ignore him. Then it hit me. It didn't come with a sound. It didn't come with a warning. It just hit me. A flash. For a split second, I saw my hand slipping on the wheel. Then it was gone. I blinked hard. What was that? I whispered. Another flash. Glass cracking. Not loud. Just a moment before it breaks. Then, nothing. I tightened my grip. My heart started racing now. Fast. Too fast. "Stop the car," I said. No response. "I said stop the car," I repeated loud. The car kept moving. Same speed. Same direction. And another flash. This time, it lasted a little longer. Darkness. Something pulling. I gasped and snapped back. "What is this?" I said, my voice shaking. "Wait," I said slowly. My grip tightened. "I've heard this before." My voice felt wrong coming out. No, I shook my head. I wrote this. You already gave this part an ending, he said. I looked at the mirror again. I shouldn't have. His face wasn't clear, but it wasn't right. It felt like I was looking at something that didn't fully fit inside the space it was in. I turned back to the road immediately. My hands were shaking now. No, no, this isn't real, I muttered, but even that didn't sound convincing anymore. You know what comes next, he said. I gripped the wheel tighter. My heart was pounding in my ears now. I didn't want to know, but my body already knew. My shoulders tensed, my arms locked, like I was preparing for something, something I couldn't see yet, something I was already too late to stop. My grip tightened on the wheel. My heart was racing. You know what comes next, he said. My arms locked, my body tensed on its own, like I had done this before. This is where you always stop it, he said. Something shifted inside me. Not a thought, not a memory, a line, waiting. You don't get past this part. I tried to fight it, but I already knew what I was going to say. Not yet. I wasn't even supposed to drive that night. I was tired. My head was already starting to hurt.